Do you think that life without school and a degree is nothing? Hey there. Welcome back to Mindful Psychology. Today, we're diving into a topic that's been a subject of debate for years. Is life without school and a degree nothing? Can you really succeed without following the traditional educational path? Well, let's find out. To many, the traditional path of attending school and obtaining a degree seems like the only route to success. It offers structured learning, access to resources, and a sense of accomplishment. But is it the only way? We've all heard about those inspiring individuals who dropped out of school and achieved incredible success. Today, we're sitting down with a few of them to hear their stories. First on our list is popular social media website creator, Facebook CEO Mark Zuckerberg.
I am honored to be here with you today because, let's face it, you accomplished something I never could. If I get through this speech today, it'll be the first time I actually finish something here at Harvard. Class of 2017, congratulations. It's really good to be idealistic, but be prepared to be misunderstood. Anyone working on a big vision is going to get called crazy, even if you end up right. Anyone taking on a complex problem is going to get blamed for not fully understanding it, even though it's impossible to know everything up front. Anyone taking initiative will always get criticized for moving too fast because there's always someone who wants to slow you down. And this is my story too. A student in a dorm, connecting one community at a time and keeping at it until one day we can connect the whole world. Change starts local. Even global change starts small with people like us. In our generation, the struggle of whether we connect more, whether we achieve our greatest opportunities, comes down to this: your ability to build communities and create a world where every single person has a sense of purpose.
Next is Apple founder Steve Jobs.
I'm honored to be with you today for your commencement from one of the finest universities in the world. Truth be told, I never graduated from college, and this is the closest I've ever gotten to a college graduation. Today, I want to tell you 3 stories from my life. That's it. No big deal. Just 3 stories. The first story is about connecting the dots. I dropped out of Reed College after the first 6 months, but then stayed around as a drop-in for another 18 months or so before I really quit. So why'd I drop out? It started before I was born. My biological mother was a young, unwed graduate student, and she decided to put me up for adoption. She felt very strongly that I should be adopted by college graduates, so everything was all set for me to be adopted at birth by a lawyer and his wife. Except that when I popped out, they decided at the last minute that they really wanted a girl. So my parents, who were on a waiting list, got a call in the middle of the night asking, "We've got an unexpected baby boy. Do you want him?" They said, "Of course." My biological mother found out later that my mother had never graduated from college and that my father had never graduated from high school. She refused to sign the final adoption papers. She only relented a few months later when my parents promised that I would go to college. This was the start in my life. And 17 years later, I did go to college. But I naively chose a college that was almost as expensive as Stanford. And all of my working class parents' savings were being spent on my college tuition. After 6 months, I couldn't see the value in it. I had no idea what I wanted to do with my life, and no idea how college was going to help me figure it out. And here I was, spending all of the money my parents had saved their entire life. So I decided to drop out and trust that it would all work out okay. It was pretty scary at the time, but looking back, it was one of the best decisions I ever made. The minute I dropped out, I could stop taking the required classes that didn't interest me and begin dropping in on the ones that looked far more interesting. Of course, it was impossible to connect the dots looking forward when I was in college, but it was very, very clear looking backwards 10 years later. Again, you can't connect the dots looking forward. You can only connect them looking backwards. So you have to trust that the dots will somehow connect in your future. You have to trust in something, your gut, destiny, life, karma, whatever, because believing that the dots will connect down the road will give you the confidence to follow your heart even when it leads you off the well-worn path, and that will make all the difference.
Next is Microsoft owner Bill Gates.
I've been waiting more than 30 years to say this. Dad, I always told you I'd come back and get my much more direct route to your degrees. For my part, I'm just happy that the Crimson called me Harvard's most successful dropout. I guess that makes me valedictorian of my own special class. I did the best of everyone who failed.
Computers came along when I was 13, and they kind of intimidated the teachers, so I and a few others were viewed as the computer experts, and they were nice enough to let us do the scheduling of the different classes so I could decide, which girls were in my class.
Harvard was a phenomenal experience for me. Academic life was fascinating. I used to sit in on lots of classes that I hadn't even signed up for. And dorm life was terrific. There were always a lot of people in my dorm room late at night discussing things because everyone knew that I didn't worry about getting up in the morning. That's how I came to be the leader of the antisocial group. We clung to each other as a way of validating our rejection of all those social people. I got great exposure to the advances being made in the sciences. But humanity's greatest advances are not in its discoveries, but in how those discoveries are applied to reduce inequity.
And next is the Virgin Records owner Richard Branson.
I want to start with school and something the headmaster of your school said about you when you were just a teenager. What did he say?
I think he said I'll either go to prison or I'll become a multi-millionaire. and so he definitely saw something in me that was going to go one direction or another.
What was your first business?
Very first business was when I was about 9 years old, and I planted a whole lot of Christmas trees on some spare land that my parents had. And my thinking was that when I was 18 and I left school, those Christmas trees, instead of being that big, they would be 6, 7, 8 foot tall, and I would be able to, use the money to I don't know. I suspect go to Bali and live happily ever after. But as it turned out, the rabbits got in and ate them all, and so it wasn't very successful.
Just as you have heard, while education and degrees can provide valuable knowledge, skills, and opportunities, they are not the only paths to a fulfilling and meaningful life. Many factors contribute to a person's well-being and sense of accomplishment, and education is just one of them. Here are some important points to consider when choosing which success path to follow. Number 1, diverse pathways. People have different paths to success and happiness. Some individuals may find fulfillment through traditional education, while others thrive through vocational training, self-directed learning, entrepreneurship, or pursuing their passions. Number 2, skills and experience. Education is just one way to acquire knowledge and skills. Life experiences, hands-on learning, apprenticeships, and practical skills can also play a significant role in personal and professional development. Number 3, passion and purpose. Pursuing your passions, values, and interests can lead to a fulfilling life, even if it doesn't involve a traditional degree. Many successful individuals have built meaningful careers by following their passions. Number 4, Entrepreneurial endeavors often rely on creativity, innovation, and determination. Many successful entrepreneurs didn't follow traditional educational paths, but excelled due to their unique skills and ideas. Number 5, personal growth. Lifelong learning, self-improvement, and personal growth are essential components of a fulfilling life. Continuous learning and adaptability can come from a variety of sources beyond formal education. Number 6, community and relationships. Building meaningful relationships, contributing to your community, and making a positive impact on others' lives are significant aspects of a fulfilling life that education doesn't solely define. Number 7, cultural and socioeconomic factors. The value placed on education varies across cultures and societies. Socioeconomic factors, access to educational resources, and individual circumstances can influence educational attainment. Number 8, alternative paths. Some successful individuals have overcome challenges or pursued unconventional paths. Their experiences demonstrate that there are many ways to define success and find happiness. With the rise of the digital age, the job market is changing rapidly. Many employers are now looking for skills and experience rather than just degrees. So if traditional education isn't your thing, don't worry. There are plenty of alternative learning paths. Online courses, workshops, and mentorship programs can provide valuable knowledge and skills. However, without the structure of school, self-motivation becomes crucial. It's essential to set goals, stay disciplined, and continue learning independently. So, is life without school and a degree nothing? Absolutely not. While traditional education has its merits, it's not the only path to success. The world is changing, and success is defined by more than just a degree. It's about passion, determination, and continuous learning. Ultimately, the concept of a fulfilling life is highly individualized. It's important to prioritize what resonates with your values, passions, and aspirations. While education can open doors and create opportunities, it is just one piece of the puzzle. What matters most is pursuing a path that aligns with your goals and brings you a sense of purpose and satisfaction. Thank you for joining us today on this thought-provoking journey. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell for more insightful content. And remember, your path to success is uniquely yours. So keep pursuing your dreams, no matter where they take you. And